All right, we are back with another episode of It's That Easy, still talking Major League Baseball. So, if you're watching, please like the video, and if you get a chance, go ahead and subscribe so you get notified every time we make another video. So, today we're going to talk about our games that we picked for Sunday, and then I got five series that start Monday that I think they go through Wednesday. So we'll do those, and then we'll touch on a few, how-tos and what we're looking at when we're looking at some of these numbers. So let's get into it. We'll start with our Sunday games. How disappointing. This is why I told you starting next week, I'm not picking Ranger games because they're very disappointing. I picked the Rangers to win today. The A's scored 2 runs in the first inning. So that means Rocker did his job, but then the Rangers didn't score. They scored 1 run, maybe in the fifth or sixth, and that was it. So they lost 2-1. Very, very sad game that day. Um, Phillies and Braves played. Did pick the Braves. Braves took care of business. The Phillies did win yesterday. Obviously, it's an outlier. Phillies are one of the teams that are struggling the most this season. So Braves took care of business there. We had Cincinnati and Detroit. Detroit said, you know what, that we're going to finish up the series in Cincinnati with a big win. They killed the Reds 8-3, and I don't even think it was that close. So, had the Reds winning today, that didn't work out for us. Tampa Bay did take care of business against the Twins, so that was nice. Tampa Bay swept the Twins. It was a home series for Tampa Bay, but that was good. That's how you do it. And then the Brewers, man, they just shut out. I was looking at what I said yesterday about the game. I said, man, the Pirates should score, their bullpen should hold, uh, and the Brewers can't score, and they won't be able to hold the Pirates back. No, the Brewers won 5-0. Exact opposite of what the numbers said, but you know what? That's baseball. So now we go into our series. Oh, I will tell you that. So the record was 53-29 as of yesterday. Our new record is 55-32. So still doing pretty well. 23 games over 500, but we need to get better at this. So looking at the numbers for here are our new series that we're looking at for this week. You see, there's no Texas Rangers in there. That's a good thing. So we'll jump into these, and then I want to talk about those numbers we're looking at there. So the Rays and the Guardians. So the Rays are 16-11, pitching Mats tomorrow. He has a 4.81 ERA in 5 starts. His last 2 games gave up 4 runs and 2 runs, one in a loss, one in a win. Um, Here's the thing about the Rays, though. They've won 4 of Matt's 5 starts. In the bullpen, did pretty well. They did give up 8 runs the other day, but for the most part, they're holding their own. And the Rays have won 4 in a row, so that's a good sign there. Guardians are 15-14, throwing Messick tomorrow, who seems to be something like their ace. He's has a 1.76 ERA in 5 starts. His last 2 games, he gave up 3 runs and 2 runs in a win. So they've won all 5 of his starts. And the bullpen seems to be, they give up a couple of runs, but the Guardians have lost 3 of the last 4. And Tampa Bay and so, sorry, I'll stop there. So because of that, we're going to go Tampa Bay to win the game tomorrow um, on the money line there. Now the over under 7.5. Tampa Bay over the last 6 games has roughly been scoring about 6 runs per game, for at least 4 of the last 5 games. And Cleveland has been scoring either 8 in 2 of their last 5 games, or they'll score 2 runs. So that's kind of up in the air there, but I do like the 7.5. I think we're going to go over on that one. I think the Rays may score most of those runs and put them over for tomorrow. St. Louis travels to Pittsburgh. St. Louis is 14-13, another close to 500 team there. They're throwing May tomorrow, May in April. That's pretty good. 5.84 ERA in 5 starts. His last 5 innings and 6 innings pitched. He's only given up 1 run in those innings. Won both of them. So he's won. So the Cardinals have won his last 3 starts. The bullpen has seems to be holding in his last 3 starts, so that's a good sign for them. Except for the Cardinals have lost 4 in a row. The Pirates, 16-12, are pitching Ashcraft. 2.43 ERA in five starts. His last two, he's given up 2 runs and 5 runs, but he's gone 7 innings and 5 innings in those, with a win and a loss. So unlike the Cardinals, the Pirates have actually won three of Ashcraft's last four starts. Their bullpen will give up a couple of runs, except for today where they gave up a ton of runs. Um, they're 2-2 in their last 4 games. The Cardinals have been scoring roughly about 2 runs per game in their last 5 games, and Pittsburgh's been scoring about six. So Pittsburgh can put runs on the board. But I think so they got an 8 up there as over under. So to win the game, I'm picking Pittsburgh to win the game. They're at home. They'll probably come out doing well. But for the over/under, I just feel the under on this one because the Cards aren't scoring a lot of runs, and Pirates are pitching Ashcraft, which is doing pretty well. And so we're going to go the under 8 points on this one. And here's another thing. So when we do earn run, okay, so let's take this one. I said May. He has a 5.84 ERA. That means he gives up 5.84 runs in 9 innings pitched. But he's only pitched his last 2 games were 5 innings and 6 innings. So he obviously hasn't pitched 9 innings in those 2 games. So you got to do the math, but in the 5 innings pitched, that's roughly, if it's 5.84, that's a little over half. So maybe let's say 3.1 run per game. And in the 6 inning, it's probably 3.75, runs per game in that one. So even though we do the ERAs, it sounds like, man, this guy gives up a lot of runs in his 5 innings pitch. It's actually not that, but you just do a simple math, which is roughly about half. So I just keep it at that to keep it simple. So we got Boston going to Toronto. Red Sox are 11 and 17, pitching Suarez tomorrow. 4.0 ERA in 5 starts. Last game, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs. The one prior, he pitched 8 innings, gave up no runs. There's a big contrast there. He lost the last one. He won the one where he pitched and no runs. But the Red Sox have won 2 of his last 3 starts, so that's pretty good. The bullpen's holding for them, and they've won 2 in a row after being pretty dismal before that. So I guess they're doing okay. They did score 17 runs 2 days ago, and right after that, they fired their coach. So go figure. So I don't know if that means, hey, Red Sox are going on a run now because they got a new coach. They're playing different, or they're pretty bummed they lost their coach. They keep it up. But Blue Jays are 12 and 15. They're pitching Cease, 2.1 ERA in 5 games. His last 2 games, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs and a win. 6 innings, gave up no runs, but he lost. That means the bullpen gave up runs. The Blue Jays have won 2 of his last 3 starts as well. The bullpen seems to be okay for those guys. Toronto's won 2 in a row, so or at least their last 2, and they've been scoring roughly about 5 runs per game. Other than that outlier for the Sox, they've been scoring about 4 runs per game. So the over under. So that's actually before that. For money line, we're going to go with the Jays. They seem to be doing a little better in a little better place there. We don't know what the Red Sox are going to do for the next, starting this one with the new manager here. And in 7 run over under, we're going to go the over. If Toronto and the Sox come out swinging, they could score 9, 10 runs. So we'll go with that one in that game. Seattle at Minnesota. Seattle is 14 and 15, pitching Castillo. He has a 5.01 ERA in 5 games. Last 2 games, 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs and a loss. 5 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs and a loss. Not too good for those guys. But yeah, Seattle's lost 3 of the last 4 starts that Castillo has pitched. But the bullpen seems to be doing okay. And on the flip side of that, the Mariners have actually won 4 games in a row. So good for them. They're in our division. Not really, but whatever. Twins, 12 and 16, pitching Prelip, 4.5 ERA. He only had 1 start, and it was a loss. Guess who he pitched against? The Mets. Probably one of the more struggling teams. I'm not going to say worse. One of the more struggling teams in the MLB. That's his only loss. He struggled in that one. Twins have also been struggling. They've lost 5 games in a row. Minnesota is scoring roughly about 2 runs per game. Seattle's doing about 4 runs per game. So Seattle, we got Seattle going to Minnesota. We're going to pick them to take the win there. And then for the over under, I'm probably going to go the under because the Twins have just been struggling. And even when the Mariners win, they're not dominating. They're winning 4-2, 4-1, 3-2, 3-1. So it could be a 6, 7 point game there. So last one we will look at are the Cubs and the Pods. Cubs are 17 and 11. And see, now we're getting into the teams that are like are pretty good there, have good records. They're pitching Boyd, 5.79 ERA in 3 starts. His last start, 4 innings pitched, 2 runs and a win. The one before that, 5 innings pitched, and he gave up 2 runs and another win. That's good. They've won his last 2 starts. The Cubs have won Boyd's last 2 starts. Bullpen seems to be getting better, but they are susceptible to giving up runs. They've lost 2 in a row, but they were to the Dodgers. So they've lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. So we might call that an outlier there because prior to that, the Cubs had actually won 10 in a row. So that's pretty good there. Padres 18 and 9, pitching Vasquez 1.88 ERA, which what I told you earlier, that could be roughly giving up, less than a run an outing he does. Last outing, he had 7 innings pitched, he gave up no runs in a win. The one before that, 4 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs in another win. That means the Pods are giving him some run support. They've actually won all 5 of Vasquez's outings, so that's pretty good there. The bullpen seems to be doing well, at least in the games that they're pitching when Vasquez pitches. But the Pods are 2-2 in their last 4 games. Chicago scores roughly about 6 runs per game. Padres are scoring close to 6 runs per game as well. I'll be honest, I like the Cubs, and I think they're going to do well. I think after those 2 losses, they're going to go to San Diego. San Diego is going to win this game, and then the Cubs probably get back on track starting after that on Tuesday. So, and then for the over under, because they score so many runs, I mean, they're actually having Vasquez is a good pitcher for the Padres. Doesn't give up a ton of runs, but once they get to the bullpen, you never know. So I would say over the 8 runs there. So those are your picks for Monday, the 27th. Here's one thing I want to talk about here. I talked about the ERA. I thought that was interesting to uh, do there. Here's one thing. So, we're talking parlays, right? I told you before, parlays are how you can make some or win some good predictions there. So, but when you're parlaying, unless you're thinking, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to parlay some underdogs, you usually parlay the teams you think are going to win. So, if we're looking at tomorrow's games, I wouldn't parlay all 5, even though I've been doing that and that hasn't worked for me the last couple of days. Uh, this one, I would probably parlay Pittsburgh, uh, Blue Jays, and Seattle. So you'd have a 3-team parlay. It probably would a little over 1.5 times because they are the favored teams there, and they're pretty highly favored at minus 143 and then 136 for the Pirates. But it could still, it puts you ahead there. Now, if you're looking to parlay the underdogs, we do have 2 underdogs, Tampa Bay and San Diego there. Even though San Diego has a minus, it's actually a lower minus than the Cubs, so they are the underdog there. So it's one that you can look at as well if you want to try that. And then the last thing I want to say is here's the crazy part. So if you bet Cleveland to win money line, they're minus 143. Tampa Bay is the underdog at plus 119. You wouldn't get paid double. You get paid like 75%. So you put up, let's say $10, you get paid 750 of that. Now, on the flip side, there is something called the spread. So usually in this case, Cleveland's the team picked to win. If you pick Cleveland to cover the spread's always 1.5. Well, I'd say 98% of the 99.9% of the time, it's 1.5. So if you want to pick Cleveland to win by 2 or more runs, that actually is a plus, and you can more than double. But I guess it also means that that's how hard it is because sometimes these are 1-run games, and obviously if Tampa Bay wins, you lose that bet anyway. Tampa Bay on the flip side, if you pick them plus 1.5, means they'll lose by 2 runs or less. It actually pays less. It'll be a minus, and you'd actually get with that 119. If you pick them to win, you get paid over double. You'd actually get paid under. So it's kind of weird like that, but it's something to know to keep in mind because whether when you're betting, whether you're looking to win higher money? You're trying to bet the higher money, higher dollar values? Are you just trying to bet to, win a game? You don't care what the payout is? Are you trying to parlay because you want to multiply what you're going to bet? So keep those in mind as you're thinking about that. So once again, there are your 5 picks for tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, and if you feel so inclined, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get notified every time we do another one of these. So appreciate that, everyone. You see my record, 55 and 32. We need to make that better this week. So let's see. Keep an eye on that as well. So hopefully you enjoy watching baseball. And if you bet tomorrow, I hope you win a ton of money. Have a good one.